Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. If I sound a little congested, it's because I am, okay? Sinuses are kicking my butt right now, but I am here to review Love and Marriage Detroit, Season 2, Episode 3. And it's called All About the Ops. You guys, if I can be honest with you, I feel like this show is eventually going to work my nerves and I'm going to stop watching it like I've done with other shows because at this point, I just feel like this show is not moving forward. Okay. We're talking about the same BS every week. Okay. And I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, all of these people apparently have careers, but we don't see any of them in their careers. Latoya's a doctor. We don't see her doing anything like that. Anthony, as far as I see it, he's still Tommy on Martin. He ain't got no job because he claimed he a boss. He got this type of money, but we still have not seen what he does. We've seen Brandon in his element last season, but we haven't seen him so far this season. Christina doesn't really work. She's an influencer. Kobe doesn't work. Russell, I guess, is apparently supposed to be not only, I think, a principal, but he's also a gym owner and he's a pastor. We don't see these people in any of their elements. All they're doing is complaining and talking about petty BS. Okay. So I'm a little over it at this point. Yeah. And also, who's really likable on this show besides Russell? Like, I feel like everybody feels like Russell is a cool dude. But other than that, I don't really know if I have a favorite. And I feel like even with Christina, I don't know if I am team Christina because I don't like when people gang up on like one person, or could she really survive on her own without always being attacked by these people? So yeah, I don't know, you guys. And you guys let me know in the chat, in the comments, what you think, but I'm over it at this point. But with that being said, if I had to rate this episode, I would rate it a D, as in dog. So let's get started. So Anthony invites Christina out to dinner, all right, which is BS. You know what I mean? And I think honestly, Christina would have never gone anywhere or met Anthony anywhere. Or meet, I'm sorry, Anthony anywhere, because they don't get along. She only did it for production. That's my opinion. And so with that, he says, well, I just wanted to talk because Brandon told me you and him were going through some things, and I just kind of wanted to clear the air and everything. And my thing is this: first of all, why do you have to clear the air because you're hearing that they're going through some things? How about you work on your relationship? Because more and more I'm really starting to look at you and Latoya, and you guys don't mesh well either. Seems like it's very forced and awkward every time we see you guys on screen. It seems like she's your dictator and she is your mother almost, and it's damn ridiculous. But Christina is not falling for the BS. She's like, yeah, I don't know if you have good intentions, but we gonna get through it. And Christina guards her up, of course, and she has every right to have her guards up. I don't blame her. So at this point, he claims he wants to make amends and put the pieces back together. And she was like, how you gonna help put the pieces back together when you the one who created the pieces in the first place? And he's like, that's not true. Yes, the hell it is. You're messy. Okay, you're messy. You have a lot of feminine energy like a mofo. You're messy as hell. Okay, but you wouldn't want people to be in your relationship like that. But you definitely have had moments where you was really trying to stir the pot. So at that point, when he's trying to say he wants to make amends, Christina's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, and really connecting back with everyone because my character was attacked. And y'all love to bring the ops around. Like when it comes to me and my husband, y'all love to bring people around that don't like us. And so at that point, Brandon always tries to make it seem like he's the bigger person, but he always shows his petty piece of shit moist hand every chance he gets, because in the process of making it seem like he's there on his man shit, he says in the confessional that pretty much it's a Detroit thing. And he's real big on the 313 to 313, like it's Detroit versus everybody. Like if you're not from Detroit, you ain't nothing. Mind you, he made sure last season that he let it be known that Brandon was from the suburbs. He had an issue with Brandon being from the suburbs versus being from the city. But then when I think his name is Marsal from Huntsville came last season and said that he was from Pontiac, Michigan, which is not Detroit. Hell, I even know that. When he said he was from Pontiac, Michigan, he didn't have an issue with Marsal saying he's from Pontiac. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure where Brandon grew up, it was much closer to the city of Detroit than Pontiac. But with that being said, he tried to make it seem like it's a Detroit thing, saying they all know each other because they all from Detroit, and saying that it had nothing to do with a personal attack on Christina or trying to stir up drama, at the dinner. And he also says, look, at the end of the day, Kim is popping in the city. And you ain't even popping like that. You ain't popping, Christina. You from Buffalo. We from Detroit. And you ain't even popping. Well, guess what? She popping enough for y'all to have so much energy towards her. She popping enough to always have her name in y'all mouths. Without Christina, what is Toya's storyline? What is her storyline? She doesn't have one. Without Brandon, you don't have a storyline. You just don't. Now, Kobe can have a storyline when it comes to her husband and her being pregnant, but if it's not Christina, what the hell are y'all talking about? What are y'all there to discuss? So miss me with the nonsense. She popped enough to where clearly you guys all want to have a storyline around Christina. All right? And as far as I see it, Christina has way more of a personality than your wife. Her dry stank ass. So it's like, look, at the end of the day, Christina popping in some kind of way in Detroit, clearly. So Christina decides to meet with Brandon Sr., his mama. Okay. And so she asks how Brandon is doing at his mom's house. And, the mom is like, I barely see him. And Christina says she doesn't know how to deal with Brandon. And I'm like, Christina, his mama don't know how to deal with Brandon. His mama don't even know how to deal with herself. Why are you venting to her when she is not available at all whatsoever emotionally? Like, why even do it to yourself? So at that point, Christina says, well, he says it's a lot of trauma from his childhood. And Brandon's mom is like, yeah, he's making too much of that. But she did want to mention again that his daddy wasn't shit. So as far as I see it, I'm thinking that what she keeps trying to say is, well, his daddy wasn't shit, so that's why Brandon ain't shit. And all pretty much Brandon father did was mow the lawn. Now, interesting enough, I'm trying to figure out if that's what she meant, meaning that maybe he went to work and that's it and just mowed the lawn. Lord have mercy. If this woman is saying that he didn't work either and she worked, took care of the kids, cleaned the house, and he did absolutely nothing but mow the lawn, then lady, you brought that on yourself. But one thing that they definitely said that I guess really Brandon and his father both have in common is that for whatever reason, once the kids came into the picture, it was almost like both Brandon and his father kind of just seemed like they pushed away. And so Christina at that point, while talking to her, she's saying how, when Britton, I think that's probably the second child came along, that's when he really started to push away. And she felt alone in the marriage. And she felt like she had to do it all by herself. And you can tell that Christina really cares. She really cares. She wants this marriage. Now, I don't know if it's for the right reasons, but she wants this marriage. Now, Brandon, on the other hand, yeah, in my opinion, he's going through the motions. But at that point, when she's crying, the mother, Brandon's mother, says to Christina she needs to move on and do her and do what she needs to do since the girls are in school now. She has time to do stuff. And I agree. But then we really find out that at the end of the day, Brandon is the breadwinner. Like being an influencer, it clearly doesn't make that much money. So he's the breadwinner. And at that point, she almost implies that she felt trapped because he was pretty much controlling everything. Like she didn't know if she was going to be able to survive on her own without Brandon, but it seems like she's been doing it on her own anyway. So at this point, it's like it is what it is. And honestly, I do feel like Brandon to me seems like the type he didn't want Christina to work to control her, not for her to not work so she could pursue her own dreams, but to control her, because then at that point she's not from there. She's from Buffalo. Detroit is not her city. She don't really have friends there. She's tried to grow to, make friends there. But yeah, he solely Christina would have to depend on Brandon. Brandon was her everything in Detroit. So I definitely can see that side of Brandon, in my opinion, that he's definitely like that. And when she started to buck his system, so to speak, he didn't like it anymore. When she started to make her own friends and become her own person and really do things, for Christina, he ain't feeling it. He want a divorce. So that's what I think Brandon is. If he can't control you, it's a problem. That's just what it is. So and with Christina at this point, the girl is beautiful. She has so much that she could be doing. She really needs to at this point do whatever she can to create her own bag, pursue her own dreams, just in case. Just in case something happens, which I feel like is going to happen. And my thing is, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I love for people who are in relationships, especially in a marriage, to try to work things out, but they don't match. They just don't. You know what I mean? Like they really don't. Like honestly, I really don't know what Christina saw in Brandon. I clearly see what Brandon saw in Christina. I don't know what Christina saw in Brandon. Like he just seems like a complete bore. It's like talking to him, it's like talking to a brick wall. You probably have to even give him instructions in the bedroom. I'm sorry. He just seems like that type that yeah. No, I don't get it. But with that being said, so at that point, when she says that she needs to, really focus on her, I'm hoping that was good advice from a good place. Maybe, hopefully, it is because Brandon's mom understands what it's like to just put everything into a family because she has no choice because the other half is not doing anything. And maybe she feels really bitter about life because life passed her by and she never really was able to explore things because she had to do everything on her own. And that is the worst feeling in the world, to literally have a significant other or have a husband, man, woman, whatever, and literally have that person in the household, but you still feel alone. That's deep. That's definitely deep. So the fake ass couple, Latoya and Anthony, they going through the motions of acting like they have a great relationship. Y'all got to let me know how y'all feel about them, because I truly feel like this is a situationship. I feel like this was, like I said, a last minute resort. I don't know no other way to say it, that this almost feels like an arrangement. They don't ever feel genuine with each other. It don't even feel like they're in love with each other. It's just so weird when I see them on screen. But of course, what's the topic of conversation? Christina and freaking Brandon. They talk really quickly about adding champagne to her wine line. I don't give a shit. I'll never buy it, so I don't care. But literally, they talk about Christina and Brandon. And Anthony again acting like that female feminine energy is talking mess about Christina and how she ain't popping in the D. And why is it that they fall out with everyone? We don't fall out with people. I'm trying to figure out who everyone is because, as far as I see, the only people who are everyone are people on this show. Okay. I still haven't seen anyone say that random people on social media have given good examples about how they don't like Christina. So, as far as I see it, everyone is just the people on this show. And yes, it can really happen where people can have a sheep mentality. And because somebody doesn't like this person, other people will follow. It happens all the time. So, as far as I see it, until you can give me ground, like real examples of what Christina did, y'all just hating on her ass. That's just what it is. Because let's be clear. Guess what? Brandon and Christina are the it couple on this show. And what I mean by it couple, they are the stars of this show. Everybody's storyline to a certain extent is about Christina and Brandon. They are the breakout couple, breakout stars of this show. And you can't tell me at this point the way Anthony brings up freaking Detroit so much. You cannot convince me that this man is probably annoyed that you have Christina from Buffalo and Brandon, who's not from the city, being stars of Love and Marriage Detroit. Sorry, it's giving those vibes. And my 313 people, let me know if y'all feel that energy too. I bet you his main issue is how the hell are they stars? They ain't even from here. I'm from here. I'm true 313. He from the suburbs. She from Buffalo. This is what is given at this point. A hating ass mofo. Hey, Lisa. Yes, their dynamic is completely off and weird. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I just started talking from the beginning. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Very weird. Very weird. Hey, the driven black girl. What's up? What's up? So, yeah, so I'm just like at this point, that's all y'all talk about is Brandon and Christina. You don't have a storyline without them. It is what it is. So at that point, they agreed that they're going to meet up with the Smiths, whatever. Russell goes to Christina's house, and it was so hilarious because he said he was going to sit in the car in the driveway because he said, hell no, I'm staying in the car until the man of the house comes home. I don't go into the house. Like at the end of the day, I was raised, to not be in another man's home until he's there. And I was like, that just shows you even more and more that, Russell was actually raised by a man. And it's very obvious compared to how Russell was raised and how Brandon and Anthony was raised. Okay. So they have this production pastor therapy session. And to me, that's exactly what it was. It was kind of cute, but at the same time, it seems really forced, in my opinion. Russell asks Christina what she wants out of Brandon, and she says she wants the fruit of the spirit in Brandon. That's what she says now. Okay. Work with me here. She says she wants the fruit of the spirit in Brandon. I don't know, y'all, but it seems to me, this is just my opinion. Brandon seemed like he only found God because he wanted Christina. Let me repeat that again. Brandon, in my opinion, only found God because he wanted to be with Christina. Bottom line. Now, does he have a real relationship with God? Who knows? But at the end of the day, in my opinion, yet again, Brandon seems to be more smiles and more personality when he's around Russell than his own wife. Just as similar to Toya, she actually shows her teeth and smiles way more when she's around Colby than her own husband. These dynamics, these so-called relationships, they seem forced as hell. The only one that doesn't seem forced is Colby and Russell, although I do feel like Russell needs to listen to Colby more. But at the end of the day, everybody else seems forced as I don't know what. So at this point, oh, and excuse me, you guys, if you hear the cat in the background, my cat is literally the Suge Knight of my community, he likes to bully the other cats, and he got into a cat fight, got injured, but he still wants to go outside and he can't go outside. So if you start hearing them meowing, my apologies in advance. He can't go outside because he wants to be Suge Knight of my community. But anywho, so with that being said, again, scene force wasn't really feeling this scene. But at the same time, you can really tell that Christina seems to still be googly eye over Brandon, and Brandon just seems to be going through the motions. And I'm just like, you know what? Next, let me move on. Kim meets with her team. She's doing a charity event, and her hubby comes in, and she's talking about the charity event. This scene was boring as hell, blah blah blah. But she tells her husband that it's a charity event, it's a holiday charity event, and she's inviting everyone, and everyone includes Christina and Brandon, because she said, "Look, this is not about me; it's about charity." But it's so obvious that even her own husband thinks all of this stuff is petty and stupid. And I have to agree. But they even talk about how they need to spend more time together and have like date nights and stuff like that, so they can make sure that they're, really also still working on their relationship. So I guess that was a good thing, that we could see that you had a couple really trying to talk through how sometimes they kind of drift apart from each other because they have so many things going on and are trying to raise kids. So Latoya, she meets up with Kobe, and she's trying to help Kobe with her pregger's pelvic pain, because she talked about that the last episode. Okay. Now, I guess this was supposed to be literally Toya showing us her skill set, because I think she's a physical therapist. Interesting enough, if I am not mistaken, she has her own company with physical therapy, her own business. She claims she has a staff. Why are they randomly meeting in an actual, it seems like Pilates gym, versus maybe meeting in her actual office? I don't know. Again, why can't we see people in their element doing their actual job? They do it on Married to Medicine. They do it on a lot of different shows. Why aren't we seeing this? Especially if you claim that you are like the it people in Detroit. So at that point, they talk about how they both felt the same way as far as not being grateful for the child that they have, or the child that they're carrying because of the gender. And Toya says that she feels like her being bitter and depressed about her son not being a girl at the time, and she had to try again. She feels like that energy kind of was put onto her son, like how she was just upset and depressed about it, and how that affected her son, because of course that energy and the things that you do, and the just all of the vibes and stuff, that affects the baby too. So she talks about that, and then next thing you know, guess what, crew, guess what's brought up? Christina and Brandon. Yeah, brought up again. And how Toya is talking about how Christina thinks that Kim was purposely brought there to attack Christina. And I'm like, damn it, she was. Like, come on now. She was. Let's stop this nonsense. That's the reason why she was brought there. But all of a sudden, interesting enough, when she brings that up, Kim walks in to the gym. And they talk about, guess what? Christina all over again. And so at that point, what's interesting is that Kim tries to say that the problem with Christina is that she lacks follow-up skills. Then move on. You know how simple that is? If you have someone who literally lacks follow-up skills, move on. If you know your worth, you ain't about to beg no one to be your friend. Move the hell on. So the fact that they keep saying this, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what do you want from her? Like, if that is the case and that is what she lacks, then move on. You either deal with it or you just don't be friends with her. So then Latoya wants to bring up, well, Christina feels like I actually brought you to the dinner on purpose to pretty much start with her. And I'm like, you know what, Latoya, you're not even natural in front of the camera, girl. We clearly know you brought that up just to try to make it seem like You didn't do anything. And it didn't come off natural. It didn't come authentic. It didn't even come off real. So you just said that so Kim could say, I didn't even know y'all knew each other. Well, guess what? You actually did. Because when you were at LaToya's house, y'all talked about it then. So if she really didn't want the drama, she wouldn't have invited you to the dinner. So look, let's not go there. Like, let's not go there. And at the end of the day, no matter what you say, LaToya, everyone knows at this point you have it out for Christina. That's just what it is. Let me see what you're saying. Okay, you said you thought the same thing. Sour mouth LaToya, she's a mean girl. I don't like her. Yeah, I'm not feeling her either at all whatsoever. My thing is, do anything of them follow up? Well, do any of them follow up with her? Exactly. Why is she the only one that's supposed to reach out? Exactly, because they from Detroit. Like at this point, I'm starting to think it's a Detroit versus Buffalo thing. It's almost like you need to grace us, like you need to sit up there and try to get into our circle because we Detroit girls and you from Buffalo, you an outsider. So if you want to hang with us, you do everything you can to stay in our good graces. That's the way it's coming off. That's the way it's coming off. Let me see what you're saying, Lisa. Anthony and LaToya definitely feel some type of way about Brandon and Christina. Anthony is coming for her in the confessionals. LaToya can't have a simple conversation. Exactly. Oh no, it's okay, German Black girl. I understood what you were saying. So yeah, so at this point, I'm just like, y'all are full of shit. But the Smiths and the Thompsons do this stupid knocker ball game, which I thought was just so stupid. Like, okay, I guess that was supposed to, break up the tension. I guess that's what they thought it was gonna do. And there was actually some laughing. There was some laughing. And, they were having fun, but it ended quickly. I mean, like quickly, because then at that point, Brandon, they all are around in a circle. And Brandon said, look, me and Anthony made amends. No, the hell y'all didn't. You think y'all did. Anthony still shaking your ass and your wife. He was like, y'all, we made amends. Is there any way for you guys to have some type of connection where you guys can make amends? In my opinion, Christina came in cool. And she tries to talk to Toya about how, just certain things that she was saying about calling Christina fake when she called her fake at the skating ring. And the skating rink. And she literally was saying how, her character was being attacked. Does LaToya apologize? No. She pretty much says, hey, it is what it is. And then when Christina brought up something else about something that LaToya did and said, LaToya said, I don't remember saying that. So what the hell did you come for? If you're not willing to talk or own up to any damn thing, what did your stank ass come for? What is the freaking purpose at this point? So Christina tried to talk to her. All she had to do, one of the things that she could have said was, well, when you said I don't do fake, like you have to understand that kind of came off as a jab at me. What LaToya could have said was, you know what? I can see in that situation how you could have thought that. I apologize. I just thought in a moment X, Y, and Z. But the fact that she just got her nose up, like, I don't know what you're talking about, or it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. So I'm like, okay, you know what, LaToya, there was no purpose of you being here. Like, there was no purpose of you being here. You just coming off like a straight up evil ass, stank ass, and you supposed to be a preacher's kid. Ain't that some? Anyways, let me move on. So then at that point, Christina mentions Kim and how, Kim used some of the same verbiage about, Kim saying that Christina was manipulative and all of this stuff. And LaToya decides to say at that point, well, it's your reputation. It's your reputation in Detroit. And so at that point, does LaToya ever smile? She smiles when she's with Kobe. I actually saw her teeth this episode. And when she showed her teeth this episode, and it was her teeth, not with a stank, like nasty grin on her face like she does, she actually looked like she was enjoying herself talking to Kobe and Kim. That was when we actually saw, in my opinion, a smile that seemed genuine. Other than that, she don't even smile like that in front of her husband. in my opinion. But with that being said, she tries to say it's her reputation in Detroit. And so at that point, Christina was like, how about you tell me who you're talking about? It's your reputation. People have said it. People have said it. People said you fake, you manipulative. And she said, oh, okay. You talking about you, Kim, and freaking Kobe. Got it. She was like, no, other people too. Look, at this point, I understand that she's trying to say other people, but she don't want to say names because she don't want to come off messy. But at this point, because you are not giving specific examples, it's coming off, Latoya, that you're just lying your ass off and you just want to mess with her reputation. Because at this point, if you gonna keep just saying people saying, but you're not giving examples, you're coming off like you're fake. That's what you're coming off as. Because at this point, bam, let me give you examples. I will call those people real quick and say, can I please give an example of what we're talking about? So now she's not going to sit up there and try to make it seem like I'm bringing this out of nowhere. I need the examples. I need concrete evidence of the things that I've heard that she's done. But the fact that she won't say anything, again, I feel like there's hate here. There is hate here, straight up. So at that point, literally, Christina is, she's tired of it. And you can tell she's really tired of it because Christina said, you based your opinion on me and you judged me based off of what other people said. And she was like, and I never would have done that to you. Here's the thing, Christina. That's how the sheep mentality is. I've been on Christina's end before, where literally I don't understand why these girls don't like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. Maybe when I was younger, I would be like, dang, like what? I don't even know what have I done. I've been on that receiving end before. The reality is, though, you're not going to change their opinion no matter what you do. You can give them money, you can give them whatever. They're not going to change their opinion. Some people are just mean girls. Some people don't even know why they don't like you. They just hear a story from someone else and they just jump on the bandwagon. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. While these are grown women with kids, you would think they would be more mature than that, but they're just not. They're not, period. And so when Christina says that, she's a little annoyed by it. And, the thing with Christina is she talks with her hands. Hell, I talk with my hands. I'm talking with my hands now. You can't see me, but I'm talking with my hands now. I don't think she means anything by it, but she has a big personality and she was just talking and Anthony tried to interfere and Christina was like, hold on, bro. Like, let me get this out. And all of a sudden, Latoya was like, yeah, because you need to put your finger down. Bitch, what the hell you gonna do if she don't? What are you gonna do if she don't? You a damn doctor. Girl, shut up. What are you going to do? But then the episode goes off. Look, Carlos King, you need to do better. And this is your hometown. You from Detroit. You need to do better. There's no balance in this show. It is the same BS. Everyone hates Christina, but they're not really giving us concrete reasons as to why. Literally, we have the most awkward freaking relationships on this damn camera that I have ever seen when it comes to couple type of shows. This don't make no damn sense. I don't understand. And I think one of my crew members was like, how the hell did this show get a second season? Look, at the end of the day, as far as I see it, this probably would be better on YouTube at this point. This would be an excellent YouTube show. They probably will get a lot of numbers because I am not seeing any substance. I'm not even seeing people moving forward in their career. There's no growth in any situation right now. Just constant bickering, constantly pointing the finger, and literally half of them, I don't even know what the hell they do. I really don't know what the hell they do for a living. So I thought the whole point, Love and Marriage Detroit, is about not only seeing the love and marriage part, but also seeing the dynamics of how they move and shake in their city. That's what I thought. Now, again, I don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't watch Love and Marriage DC. but I'm going to assume there is a reason why those shows have been able to last. And something tells me there is definitely growth and there's more of a balance when it comes to those shows. And y'all can definitely let me know. But I just feel like now with Detroit, I'm like, this is the same shit. Like if you literally you go back to season one, episode, whatever, we're talking about the same exact thing. The same exact things that they were talking about in season one. It's the same bickering and the same bullshit. Hey, Shayla does exactly that part. She dislikes her own husband. She seemed like she disliked everybody. She always got that look on her face like her breath stank, her upper lip stank. Like she just really need to get the stick out of her ass. And she's boring. Yes, her nose is always turned up with a stank face. Yes. Hey, Shayla girl, I liked the show last season, but I'm not feeling the ganging up on one person. I hate bullying. Me too. I did not watch Ready to Love. I did not watch Ready to Love, but if it's about to come back on, maybe I need to explore it. My whole thing is I like reality shows that show some type of growth and forward movement. Okay? Like literally, if we're going to continue to talk about the same BS, there's no point of this show being on. And your storyline should not just be Christina. And let's be clear, Christina, your storyline shouldn't just be your relationship issues with Brandon. Brandon, the same thing. Like, as far as I see it, I need to see Christina learn how to have a life outside of Brandon. I really do. Maybe this season, hopefully, we're going to see her really blossom into what she really wants to do. She wants to be an artist, get back to being an influencer. Like she needs to get back into being Christina. If she ever knew really who she was, because to me, Brandon ain't never known who the hell he is. And let's just be mindful. The next episode, we see them talking to their daughters. Brandon, you definitely have to be mindful of how you treat their mama, especially when you raising two girls. You got to be mindful how you treat their mama, because they gonna feel it, they gonna see it, even if you think they don't. Same thing with Christina. Christina, you gotta be mindful of how you treat their daddy. This is a damn shame. Okay, it was a doozy. Yeah, I gave it a D. I like DC though, but I'm gonna assume there's more of a balance, Shayla, and there's more growth. That's why they're getting season after season. At this point, we're in episode 3, and you hear a lot of people talking about what they do, but we ain't seeing a damn thing about actually seeing what they do. Just like this whole champagne thing that they talking about. Like, you talking about how you adding champagne. Hell, we barely saw the wine. We barely saw the wine. Can you get the wine in several stores before you start adding champagne? What the hell is wrong with you? I thought y'all was business people. Like, I would have loved to hear that you got your wine in several selected stores in Detroit or beyond. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, come on now. But you supposed to be movers and shakers, and Anthony always talking about how he a mover and shaker and he got $1 million easily, and how Brandon done seen $1 million. Get the hell up out of here. I see a lot of people fronting, and at this point, you ain't gonna be able to tell me they the blue bloods or the upper epsilon or the creme de la creme of black people in Detroit. You're not gonna be able to tell me that, because first of all, let's be clear, the top dogs of Detroit, they wouldn't be on this damn show. How about that? The top black people, okay, the bourgeoisie, I promise you they wouldn't be on this show. What I am getting is you have people on here who want to be the creme de la creme, the top of the black elite in Detroit, and they ain't cutting it. So the way they trying to get into that circle is being on this show, but you gonna fail, honey, because ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world that old money about to let y'all in. The only circles y'all gonna be in is circles that you already in. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, the church circle, the church circuit in Detroit. That's about it. That is about it. A new season is coming back soon, I believe. Okay, keep me updated, the Driven Black Girl, and let me know, because I may have to explore it. No, ma'am, they're not. Exactly. So that was the end of the episode. Like I said, I gave this episode a D. Yeah, they need to do better. I don't know how many actual episodes we have this season, but the fact that they continue to talk about Christina. I am tired of this shit. I am tired of this shit. And at this point, it just comes off as straight up hating. And it's coming off as in you are an outsider claiming our city. That to me is what it's coming off as. It really is. It's coming off that way. There's animosity there. And at this point, it has to come from hate. It really does. It has to come from hate because I'm just not understanding. I'm really not understanding. And I think Anthony needs to admit that because he's real quick to bring up how they're from Detroit. He's from Detroit. Latoya's from Detroit. The other people on the show is from Detroit. Brandon and Christina are not. And that's just what it is. And he's mad because they are the focal point of this show. Well, here's the thing. If you had something to talk about and you had your own damn storyline, maybe you could be the stars of this show. But you don't. One, because neither one of y'all have really good personalities for people to look at y'all and y'all are likable. Like Anthony's not likable. His freaking wife is not likable. So yeah. But at least you can start with having your own storyline and not making it about Christina and Brandon. That's a start. So with that being said, you guys, let's continue this conversation in the chat, in the comments. Y'all let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe for someone who really loves this show, let me know what you think as far as maybe something that I'm missing. And let's be honest, because you just never know who listens or is watching. Um, for those who maybe help me understand, is there something about Christina in Detroit that I'm not aware of, and that she is doing some slick, shady stuff, and they just don't know how to articulate it on the show, or maybe they're editing it, hell, production editing is a powerful drug. It's very powerful. Maybe, just maybe, they're cutting stuff out to make Christina look a certain way. Well, then, if that's the case, I'm going to need for y'all to come out from the D and let us know what's going on. But until then, as far as I see it, this truly just sounds like jealousy. And that's just it, bottom line. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button. Replay gang, hit the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.